So you have a change of heart, wanna make a brand new start. You've been living on the edge with forever as a pledge. No more giving it up, turning me loose, setting us free. Baby, keeping it real, cause we got what it takes for sure. There's no turning back anymore. Can you see it's all a game? Life goes on all the same. If at first you don't succeed, all you've got is all you need. If you believe this.
Hey, Rise and Thrivers. Guess what? It is your host, Regina, Rossi, Lamothe, and my dear co-host, Dr. Raquel Stuart. We are having some technical difficulties today. And so there she is. Whoop, whoop. There she is. Dr. Raquel Stewart's here with us, and we are on for episode 106. And it is Monday night, March 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thanks for being here, Rise and Thrivers. If you're new to Rise and Thrive, let me tell you who we are. Rise and Thrive is a committed community. We're out to educate and empower and equip you in having the life you want through real talk and taking real action so you get those results. So I'm super excited to be here. We've got Raquel, who, like I said, is dealing with some, technical difficulties as she's on a different location. For the first time ever, we ran late in 106 episodes. Just in case you guys don't know where I am, I'm right here in South Florida. We just had a tornado warning with some crazy rain and a tornado that was literally 2.5 miles away from our house. As of now, there are reports of no injuries, but it caused a lot of internet issues. And like I said, we are committed to be consistent and get onto this show. So just really happy to see you guys. So with that being said, I want to remind you what this month is, right? This month is May, and here's what we're up to. We are up to having that Pearls of Wisdom conversation, right? It is a conversation around communication. And last week we had an incredible, Raquel and I kicked off the month of May of having those pearls of wisdoms around communication, that our words create our reality, that our feelings and our emotions impact the way that we communicate, either physically and also nonverbal communication. So really great conversation. And I'm super psyched because tonight we have a very special guest. I'm really excited for this guest, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about who this extraordinary woman is. We have got Katya, hopefully I said it right, or Katya Hropova, right? Here she is. She is our beautiful guest that's going to talk tonight. She is a somatic psychotherapist, a certified life coach, and a meditation instructor. She has a master's degree in somatic psychotherapy, and also, she has lived in the United States since 2002. She is born in Estonia. While studying and practicing in many different places around the world, she's enjoyed helping people reconnect with their internal wisdom so they can get resourced and find inner guidance in any time that they need. Her biggest passion is leading clients through navigating emotions skillfully so they can feel empowered in their lives. She looks forward to sharing her love of cultivating mind-body connection and self-compassion with all of her clients. So I'm super excited to get her on stage and really get talking about what she's up to. And ladies and gentlemen, here she is. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Hello,
Can you hear us?
Good. So good to be here.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Regina.
Oh, awesome.
Can you
Thank you
hear me
so
okay?
much. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, thank you. I'm
Good.
sorry you have to deal
Great.
with a tornado. That must be really stressful.
Yes. Yes, it was definitely a little bit of stress, and it looks like our co-host, Dr. Raquel Stuart, has joined us. Hi, Raquel. I think she's still trying to figure out how to get in here. So as soon as she figures that out, it's here. But I appreciate you. So did I pronounce your name right? You want to share that with everybody?
You did, yes, Katya
Yeah.
Hropova.
Katya, great. So, a little bit about this whole month, we are talking about the pearls of wisdom around conversations around communication. And you are a somatic psychotherapist. And I really love this mind body connection. So, why don't you just share with our audience a little bit in case they don't know about what psychosomatic, therapy is about? Just share a little bit about that practice.
Yeah, absolutely. I often find that it is helpful to share what somatic actually is and why it is important. And so somatic is including body process. And you can think of it as mind-based processing versus body-based processing. So mind-based processing, that's what we usually do in traditional talk therapy. That's the analysis, the finding cause and effect, kind of looking into the past, the future, realizing what needs to be done. So that's all on the mind level, which is fantastic and very necessary, but it's only half of the picture. And then the other half is somatic. So that's the body-based processing. And the body-based processing, what it offers internal wisdom, your truth, your authenticity, your gut feelings, your intuition. So everything that is your core, that's somatic. So if the mind communicates in thoughts, then the body communicates in sensations. So it feels right, or it doesn't feel right, or something. It's on a physical sensational level. So that's somatic. It's listening to that. It's building that mind body connection. So you can have access to both the mind body, and you can make the best decisions for yourself based on the whole picture.
Oh, this is beautiful. Guys, thank you for those who are just jumping in. Like, I really got that, right? Because we're talking about, conversations around, around communication. And as a former licensed social worker myself and done a lot of therapy with clients, has been in therapy myself, our mind is the thing that makes up those conversations, right? Many of them that we create from any trauma situation or something that just happened when we were a child, and our mind makes up a story about it to keep us safe, to feel secure. But the body is the one that reacts to it, that might not be that same exact feeling or emotion. And I just want to share with everybody, just in case you're just jumping in a little late, is that I just had this tornado warning in my town. So the mind right away very much got to when I was a child of a story that I remember of a big storm, right? So I got all that mind was like, oh my God, that fearful. And my body literally, I felt like hot and I felt sweaty and I started, feeling like these tingles in my hands. So that mind body conversation. So sometimes they can be the same and sometimes they can be very disconnected. And I really love your practice with regards to having that opportunity to distinguish the two of them. And that you said you can really have that body, as if I'm, correct me if I'm, right, like that body to be able to really bring you down to who that true core is, right? Bringing us back to that, how we've been born, whole, complete, perfect, at peace, and be able to move forward, right? With being able to calmly make a choice versus a decision based on a very, maybe traumatic or something that was scary for me, like this tornado warning. Tell me your thoughts on what you heard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, the body definitely reacts, and you don't know until looking deeply into the body, you don't know if it is fear telling you something, is it intuition, or is it the trauma response. So how should you act based on that? And communication through the body. The body has so much wisdom. I truly respect the body. And I do think that once we listen to it, it has so much to offer. So all of those emotions that we're feeling, all of those sensations, they're truly a guidance system. So if you look into that deeper, you can see what's really going on underneath the surface and what you really want to do sometimes. Sometimes it's a surprise. Sometimes we don't even know in our minds what we truly want, but connecting to the body gets to that deeper wisdom of what is true, what is authentic for us.
Yes, absolutely. And one of our longtime listeners and supporters, Susan, has just shared with us that the body, like what she says, is the body keeps score. Like it keeps score of everything that's happening in our life. We know that there's what do they say now? The newest updated research is like 70,000 thoughts going on in our mind in a day. While those thoughts are happening, the body still has to deal with that, right?
Absolutely.
I think like Raquel is in. Raquel, are you here? I got her in, but it seems like she keeps on freezing. So we're just sending her love. Guys, this is real talk. This is real action. We don't fake it here. This is not pre-recorded, so Raquel is just having where she's having it. So thank you, Susan, for that. Genevieve is jumping in here, another longtime supporter. I agree with you with the mind, body, wisdom. Genevieve, thank you for that. If there's anything else you have a question for her or for us or anything else, please, your insight is so important for us. And we've got Susan saying dance therapy in the mid 70s. It's a great book. It talks about the mind body connection. I'm a dancer myself. I don't know if you know that. So I teach a lot of various different types of dance through the Zumba format. And there's many times that mind to move my way through the feelings and the emotions that tend to be a little bit either overwhelming, or when I'm just full of joy, I can express that. And like you said, get that guidance. But I am curious about what you're saying about this guidance and this inner wisdom. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So system. So I created a course. It's a self-paced online course that teaches you how to practically connect to that. So let's say you have an anxiety. So what is anxiety? It's some kind of could be repressed feeling, or it could be something unexplainable. You just feel it. So connecting to that anxiety or any emotion for that matter, you go deeper, and then there's a layer revealed, and another layer might be revealed. It might be several layers going one after the other. And then suddenly there is fear underneath anxiety, fear of something upcoming. And then the next layer could be anger, being angry of not setting a boundary with somebody specific in your life, or something like that. So it could be those layers. Again, getting through them, you get clarity. So you get that wisdom that the body holds, that score that the body keeps, and then you can really see. And that tends to ground people. So once you know your truth, you know what you need to do. You know who you need to talk to, what actions you need to make, how do you need to take care of yourself. So that's the guidance system. It's kind of following the labyrinth into the body and what stories it has to share and what feelings it has to share too.
One of our viewers, Joanna, has said, we might psych ourselves out with mind over matter, but the body doesn't lie. She's thanking you so much for the important work that you're doing and telling us how you help people. And Susan's jumping in here saying, hey.
Thank you, Joanna.
Yes, thank you, Joanna. And Susan's saying that she had a discussion yesterday that someone I know is looking for a somatic therapist to deal with anxiety and OCD. Is this something that you do? Do you work with people with anxiety?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, anxiety, OCD. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the link that you see there, the peaceandmotion.learnworlds.com, that's a link to the course. It's a self-paced course. that leads you through those practical steps on how to connect with it and how to get through anxiety, through anger, through sadness, through all of those emotions. And I created that course because I'm a very practical person and I was not connected to my body in the past. So when somebody used to tell me, oh, you need some self-love or you need to connect to your body, I'm like, great, I want to do it. How do I do that? Tell me the actual steps how to do it. So that course is the product of my search of how to connect to the body, how to process emotions, how to do it efficiently so it takes several minutes instead of days of being with emotion and then maybe understanding it later. So that's specifically for anxiety and emotion. So if somebody wants to look into that course and see if it works for them, absolutely, the link is there.
Fabulous. And I've got that up on the screen, guys. Do you do one-to-one therapy as well, or is it everything just under your learning-based course right now?
I do one-on-one therapy as well. And so the course, part of the course is the group call. So people have to have opportunity to ask any questions. And I do individual sessions as well. And it's online. I see the question from Susan, does it work live or online? It's online. It's designed to be 6 weeks, but you can take it at your own pace.
Fabulous, fabulous. And like Susan, let your friend know that she also is available for one-to-one therapy, which is great. And we haven't talked about your YouTube channel. Tell us about this incredible YouTube channel. You also have a YouTube channel, which I put up here. Tell us about that. What do you discuss there? What's available for people on your YouTube channel?
So the YouTube channel, I mainly share it with clients who I work with because I have some meditations there. So the body scan meditation is the one that really develops the mind-body connection. So I just share it with people. So I make it really readily available. So if somebody wants to start getting that mind-body connection going, then if you do it 3 to 5 times a week, that's a good way to start. So I share things like this. And then there is the breath meditation as well, something that you can do quickly to just come back to the body, take a little breath, take a little moment to get out of the stress in the day too.
All right, Raquel's going to try one more time coming on here. Here she comes. Ready? Raquel, did we make it? Hi! This is real talk, real actions to get the real results. Welcome, Dr. Raquel Stuart. Thank you, my sis, for being on. Thank you for being so committed, so consistent. The audience is well aware that you are somewhere else and you doing whatever it takes. And we're just so happy that you got here.
I made it.
Awesome.
Hi,
Awesome.
Katya.
Hi, so good to see
Good
you.
to see you. What did I miss?
Oh my goodness. You missed all about what we're having this conversation about communication with her beautiful work that she does through this somatic, psychotherapy. So it's the mind piece of it and the body piece of it. And so we've have our amazing viewers that are always involved, people like Joanna and Susan and Genevieve throwing in, this information, wanting to know how to connect with her. And of course, how things align beautifully where they have people that they've been talking to and how people can connect with her. But, we're basically, just talking about that the mind and the body can disconnect. And I was sharing, with her that, what is happening. And for me, and I'm curious about you just trying to get on here, there's that mind going on, and then there's a physical sensation. And we tend to not always connect to that. Many of us don't realize that what is happening here, it gets stored in here. All those conversations get stored in here. And then there's sometimes a connect or a disconnect or not even knowing whatsoever. So that's where we're at right now. And I don't know if you have any questions for her or anything you want to share.
No, nothing. I'm just glad to be here. Nothing yet.
Well, I'm curious, inside of the somatic psychotherapist over here, what was it like for you? I mean, there's a talk about communication and conversation. They're just trying to get on. And we kept on seeing you jump on, off, freezing, looking down, going here and there.
I just kept trying. tried moving the table, moving myself, trying different browsers. And really, it just got to be on my cell phone. So that's what I'm using. I'm on my cell phone.
You look really good, by the way.
Wasn't any frustration. Thank you. No frustration. It was just, I don't know which browser to try. Maybe I need to create my own browser. But hi, everyone. How are you doing? You don't want to hear my saga? I'm here.
Genevieve is putting out there, Katya, that she doesn't always listen to her body. And I mean, how many of you out there who are listening are listeners? And hey, guys, those who are watching the replay, I literally can relate to that. And then I'll listen to it and it's right. Too late. So yeah, I'm curious, in your own journey, sharing a little bit of a story, what got you to this? Like you said, this is something like we didn't get to hear that little bit of your journey of what got you to get to this point to say, this is what I want to go do for a living.
Yeah, absolutely. All research is me search. So at least that was true for me. So I needed that for myself. I needed to connect to my body to learn how to get grounded and to learn how to navigate my emotions quickly and efficiently. And so that's what got me into this work. And I heard about somatic psychotherapy when I was in Esalen Institute. It's a workshop place and meditation place in California. So I heard about being in the body there for the first time. And I'm like, what is it? What does it mean? And then somebody would tell me in a yoga class to press into my foot when I'm in a yoga pose, and myself, I am pressing into I'm here. I don't know what you mean. So that's how disconnected from my body I was. I couldn't even identify where my body is really. And so it took quite of a journey to get back into the body. And sometimes when we're really disconnected from the body, it is actually scary. It is almost like that subconscious fear of connecting to the body, because what disconnects us from the body? It is the deadlines, the stress, emotions that we don't want to feel. So all of those things, they pile up, and the more they pile up, the more we don't want to connect to the body. So to get back to the body and we'll have to pay the price of feeling through that. It doesn't last long, but it is that embracing and fully feeling the emotions. So that's the hardest part, I would say, about somatic psychotherapy. That's what my clients share with me. It's that being with emotions instead of, oh, I know what it is, I want to make it go away, and then I know where it's connected to and all of that. So instead of doing it, actually feeling the emotion in the body. That's the hard part. But it is so empowering at the same time. Once you do it, it is so incredibly empowering. And I just don't want to do anything else anymore. Although I still forget sometimes.
Well, what we've talked here, which was last week's huge conversation, which is everything is a practice, right? This is a practice. When before you came on, sis, she was thanking us, right? Of saying, we're up to 100 something episodes. I said, it's a practice. We made a commitment in practice every single week, right? Here, it's the same thing. I really was just blown away about what you said, because I'm like, ooh, that's just so me. I'm totally that person where I'm like, I know the emotion, I know where it's feeling, I've got this, and I want to wrap it up like a little bow, and it's gone, but it's really not. And then I wonder why the next day I've got whatever I'm dealing with that's so blocked. If it's a throat chakra block, right? Right now I'm like, hey, I've got some things, doc, can I talk to you? What does this mean? But I know that I will be the best client to be able to get on her website, get on there and check out this amazing, course that she's created that gives us an opportunity to really learn about this. So I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say really quickly that what also happens when we don't fully process something is the ruminative thought. So if you find yourself being stuck on a situation or on a conversation, it means it hasn't been fully processed through the body. It's in the mind, and it kind of keeps you at the surface level, but it doesn't dig deeper into the body to actually get through it and to get the emotion out and to learn something from it.
So how long do I have to sit with this in my body?
I was thinking that.
That's a good question.
And honestly, it just seems like it's going to take some time because I've got to spend time with my emotions and feel and be grounded and get it out of my head, work it through the body, feel the emotions. You said we have to feel the emotions. Like, is there a time frame for this?
Yeah, so it usually doesn't take that much time. Oftentimes it takes between 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes less, sometimes a little more. There is a little disclaimer that if somebody had trauma, especially physical trauma in their body, that will take a lot more work. And especially, so I wouldn't actually recommend somatic work the way I do it for somebody who had really severe trauma in the body. I would go to the trauma therapist first to process it, and then do my work as the next step to learn those skills. But if somebody who have not had severe trauma in the body, it usually doesn't take that much time. So what happens is that first it's awareness. So first you notice, okay, something is going on. My mind is going 100 miles an hour. I can't really settle down. So you notice it. That's the first step. And then you imagine that you're dropping your attention below your neck and into the body and see what's happening. And you'll be surprised how quickly you will most likely be able to identify what it is. So anxiety, oftentimes it feels like racing in the chest area, or it could be a knot in the stomach, or, something in the throat that's like, oh, I feel like my throat is being choked or something like this. Usually people can tell right away what it is as soon as they pay attention to that. And then you just let it be. You breathe with it, you let it be, relax your body, and then 2-3 minutes, it's usually gone. And it either it reveals something that's underneath that emotion, something that creates it, or it's just gone.
And once
how is that process
released, then do you help me through that? Because, and here's someone who's done like psychotherapy, and 2 to 3 minutes just seems like a very short time, just to me. It seems short, but I process it. It goes to the body, and then do we talk about it? Meaning you and I talk about it.
We can, absolutely, yeah. So we can talk about because oftentimes there are insights. So let's say you're feeling anxiety, it's in the chest area. I spend some time with it, with my anxiety, feel it, it releases. And then suddenly I realize, oh, you know what? I'm really nervous about the podcast that I'm about to do. So that's what that anxiety was connected with. So it could be something like that. And then we can talk about it. And then suddenly it's not as scary anymore. So it's once we face it, it loses its power, its potency over you. So, and that's the key here. So you probably heard the phrase "feel it to heal it." I really love it. And then how do you actually do it? How do you actually feel it to heal it? So that's exactly what this is about. So step by step processing, feeling it, so it can heal, essentially. And yeah, the conversation can absolutely happen. Or sometimes, honestly, when people really connect to their body, it's almost like you don't want to talk anymore as much because everything slows down, everything becomes more grounded. And then suddenly there are no words almost. It just feels good. It's if something dissipated completely, it just feels so good and you want to hold on to that feeling.
Okay. So
but yeah, 2 to 3 minutes is not a long time. Sometimes it's not longer, but yeah.
Okay. So it's a conversation I have with myself. I wasn't sure if you heard.
I think we had a lag. Say that again, Raquel.
So it's basically a conversation that we're having with ourselves.
It's not even a conversation. It's a path of feeling. So, and I think I mentioned it in the beginning. I don't think you were here for that yet, that the mind communicates in thoughts and then the body communicates in sensations. So it's a sensation route. So you actually feel through those sensations instead of talking yourself through it. I mean, there is some talk through it once you know the steps, kind of talking yourself through the steps and returning yourself gently and kindly, always kindly returning back to the sensations. But yeah, it's the majority of it is not thinking, it's just feeling through the sensations. How does this feel? What shape does it have? What color is it if it had a color? So things like that. So that helps the mind to stay connected with a sensation.
Okay.
Joanna writes in because she's relating to this, and she's a long time supporter, and also has supported us in co-hosting. She says, my me search has revealed that when I ignore my body, it shuts down, and it makes us listen. For her, she's laid up in bed, and then she starts processing things, often with tears of appreciation for it. And she continues to say that it's that 3 to 5 minute process that she loves, rather than waiting till our body forces us to stay in bed for 24 hours, which has happened, that, she can relate to. What I really got, what hit me the most was, and I do want to say this to listeners, for those of you who are still listening or kind of coming in wherever you're coming in at, that, it's very clear that she's saying that if you've been through a very traumatic situation, that this particular way that, we're going to do this disclaimer, that this particular process that she's talking about and ways that you can connect with her for one-to-one or her online course is not that she refers and says going through a trauma therapist first. But if you're someone who, which is like someone like me, who has those things that, like, a lot of thoughts and a lot of things going on in your mind over and over again, and you just can't get past that, right? You're kind of like that anxiety. Susan Schaefer earlier had shared, Raquel, like, she has somebody who's got like that anxiety, that OCD kind of piece of that. That's the type of stuff that she can work with you one-on-one, or she has a course that you can start with and go through that course and reach out to her. So I just kind of want to put that disclaimer for many people that the trauma piece is a little bit deeper, because trauma stays in our body a whole other different way. I appreciate it. This is great. Time went so super fast. I'm like, I know you just got here, but it was like, we're already.
It was super fast.
Yeah.
It go by super fast.
Yeah. Anything, we'd love for you to, like, here we go. It's the pearls of wisdom. What would you, here you've got your audience, leave us what any of your pearls of wisdom, something that you can leave our audience with, that they can walk away with, one kind of takeaway that you would like for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for this opportunity. And I just wanted to thank both of you for having me on the show. This has been such an amazing experience, and so much warmth and so much love, and I really appreciate that. And the wisdom, I don't know if it's going to be a pearl of wisdom worthy, but what I do believe is, I do believe in the wisdom of the body and connection with it. And there is a scientific research that shows that just connecting to the body is already grounding and already calming. So just doing that, I do consider that true self-care, because I'm so into self-care. And to me, true self-care is that awareness, being able to recognize when something is happening, give yourself that attention, and then tend to what you really need. Give yourself what you really need. And to me, that comes in a form of connecting to the body, treating myself with self-compassion, giving myself that solid foundation of love, filling myself with love, and feeling non-critical, feeling self-compassionate. So that's to me is true self-care. So if I can have that as a overarching goal for all of my clients and anybody I connect with, I would definitely share this, that just take great care of yourself and be kind to yourself, because you can only grow in kindness. You cannot grow in self-criticism, and that develop as much of the connection to self, to the true self, to the body as possible, and just thrive in all aspects of life.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. We absolutely appreciate you taking time out of your schedule and educating us on this somatic therapy that you do. It's really important for people to connect with all aspects of self, mind, body, and soul. right? Because that's what we're made up of. That's the three areas. And it's really important to get connected. It's a good way to live, being connected. Walking around being disconnected is kind of, you feel discombobulated, you feel overwhelmed most of the time, and that's really and truly no way to live in the state of overwhelm. So we thank you again for being here. To our listening audience, we always thank you so very much. And remember, it's only together that we can rise and thrive. Till next time.
You see, it's all